Hi loves. In this video, I'll keep updating you about my life's journey here in Canada. In my last video, I've shared with you that I came for a work exchange in intentional community organic farm. I'll be staying here for 2 more weeks. And I also shared that from the moment I arrived, I felt like I am back to my own tribe. That feeling of home that I felt when I lived in my previous community in Guatemala, that same feeling. And what gives me that feeling here is that there is so much nature as well. There is this land that's nourishing you. There is incredible management. The human who is founded this place and who is running this place is incredible. Okay, the way he's being with us is amazing. And each single member of the community is amazing too, like special humans here. Yeah, it's about 8-10 of us, great people. I appreciate each one of them. And with all of that, I'm feeling challenged. Feeling of being at home and doesn't mean that there are no challenges. And the reason I'm challenged because whenever I am working with others or being with others in a community or a group, there's eventually someone or something that will be triggering my wounds. Okay. And my biggest wound is the wound of rejection. Okay. When someone behaves with me in a way where I start feeling rejected or ignored, it's very painful for me. And that's what started happening for me in the last few days. There's one girl in this community who was very friendly to me in the first few days, and then after the first few days of working with me, her behavior changed. Okay, she doesn't make eye contact with me anymore. She doesn't talk to me anymore. So there's definitely a change in her behavior, and there are all kinds of stories that my mind started making, and the pain started coming up for me of rejection, to the extent where when I was working with her, I felt like, whoa, I can't work in that same place. It's just too painful for me. Oh, I want to run away from here. And my philosophy is feel it all. Notice what arising. Let yourself experience that. Create space for that because it's arising here to heal and integrate or release, whatever it is. So I stayed, okay, but it was torture. It was torture. Um, And if you want to know more about that philosophy, I posted a video in my previous post. There's a young girl who is speaking about it. I would highly recommend for you to watch that video. She just says it right to the point. I love it. I love it. So I stayed, but it was torture. And the day passed. And the next morning when I did my practice and was contemplating about the situation, and what do I do to grow from that? Yeah, how do I use this opportunity to heal and grow? And what was really alive for me is that in my tribe where I feel safe, I would just find an opportunity to come to that person and ask them, tell them what I'm experiencing, and ask them what's happening for them. Yeah, tell them what kind of story it brings up to my mind, or just to say that, hey, it brings up some stories and I want to understand if that's true, and I just want to check with you what's happening for you. That's what I would do. Okay. However, in this community, the way I experience it, people don't talk about the way they feel, they just work. So there were fears in me that if I do that, I will be labeled as too much, too sensitive, or making a trouble from, like, this Mahai is a trouble. So I was hesitating about doing that. Thing that I would normally do in the communities where I lived before, the things that we normally do in our circling practice, the relational practice that I'm so passionate about. So as I was contemplating all of that, I felt, you know what, I'm actually going to offer circling here. And I don't know if that person will come, and it doesn't even matter. But I just want people to understand me, and I want to create that space for me to be in this way that feels true to me and authentic, where I can check with others my assumptions, my stories, share with them how I feel. I want people to understand that's where I'm coming from. There's this way of relating, there is this language that some people speak. So that inspired me to facilitate circling. So when I came out of my practice and joined the community for breakfast, I started sharing with others this thing that I'm doing and I'm passionate about. I also shared that I have some challenges, that there's some stories coming up for me. I feel some, you know, just shared some things that vulnerable without names, without um, talking about the specific circumstances. And some people responded, and the circling happened. And the other reason of me wanting to offer that was also like, hey, I kind of feel passionate, and I know how much impact this practice made on me personally. And maybe there will be someone who will benefit from it in that same way, that it will create an impact and maybe like have an impact on their whole life. And it truly happened. After the circling practice this morning, a couple came to me and they said, hey, you know what? Whatever we did in circling, we started practicing with each other, and it's been so amazing. It helps us so much. And just for that feedback, I'm already like, wow, this is amazing. This was worth offering it, yeah? On top of that, what happened is that when I decided to offer circling yesterday morning and came out to the community and started sharing about it, I connected back to my power. I came out of that victim state, this contraction where like, oh, I have this challenge, I don't know how to go about it, and like my mind racing around and trying to resolve it and seeing how I'll go about it. I came back to my power of offering, and I'm still there. And I'm not concerned about how to resolve that trigger for myself with that specific person that triggered that wound of rejection inside of me. I know that when the time will come, when there will be a right opportunity, I'll just come to her and just tell her, this is what's happening for me. That's what I'm noticing. And I have some stories that come up, and I wonder what is happening for you. And if there is any, yeah, just wonder what's alive for you. If there is anything between us, yeah, just want to understand. Just for my own self, just to get clarity. I'll know I'll do that. But I'm not pressured in like, hey, I want it to happen now because it's too much for me. It's too intense to be in this way, yeah? Okay. I know the opportunity probably will come because I do want to be in connection with that person. So if it is to happen, it's going to happen. So yeah, I wanted to share this with you here, this community life. Yeah. And what I'm learning for myself, like there is no, like, doesn't matter how much healing I do with myself, the wounds are still there, they get triggered. And it's not about being healed or not healed. I don't know if that will ever go away, this wound that I have, if it ever will stop rising when I encounter those behaviors in others. But what I know, that I started noticing that I have the capacity to do something different rather than keep dwelling in this victim story. I did something different this time, and this is amazing. I don't have to be tortured for long the way I did in the past by my stories, by my wound. There is a different way to go about it. I did it. The fact that I did it, and I'm in a different space. I think I'm going to stop here. I guess the message here is that we don't have to heal, though. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be wounded. But if is what we choose to do when it arises that makes the difference. And we don't have to feel it all even. Yeah, I didn't run away, but there's definitely so much more to feel. Oh, there's so much more to feel, but it's okay. It will keep coming up. There will be many opportunities, so let me enjoy life also. Not to distract myself, not to run away, but to allow myself to enjoy when that does authentically arise inside of me. It's okay. I'm worthy to enjoy this life. I'm worthy to enjoy my own expansion. Yeah, we are worthy. All right, my darlings, I'm going to really stop here. I hope you all take a good care of yourself, keeping coming back to that inner connection, no matter what life throws at you. Trusting yourself, trusting your path. We are doing it. We are doing it. And we're all in this together. So take a good care. Sending you so much love. And we'll talk to you again very, very soon.